Over 90% of my clients are now doing an inheritance protection trust because they realize, after I talk to them about that, they realize that when they give assets to their children and their children get married, and then the children mix up those assets with that of their spouse, and there's a divorce, that's when problems happen. And that's what an inheritance protection trust can solve for you and your loved ones. Why do clients even consider doing an inheritance protection trust? Well, the problem is California and community property. You give your son, daughter, other loved one an inheritance, and if that inheritance gets mixed up, the technical word is co-mingle, if that gets mixed up with the stuff of their spouse or the marriage, the presumption is it's community property. That means what you gave your loved one can end up going to someone else that you don't even intend it to go to. Look, here's an example. Let's use that house. What you give your children or other loved ones, they would use that money to buy assets, and that asset or those assets would be held in the name of their inheritance protection trust. So if your son or daughter bought this house with money you gave them, it would be titled in the name of their inheritance protection trust. But what about commingling? Let's pretend that your son or daughter bought a house with their spouse. All right, how would that look? It would be co-owned. Let's say your son or daughter owned 60% of it. That 60% would be held in the name of their inheritance protection trust, and the other 40% would be held by the other spouse or by the husband and wife, by the spouses together. In other words, you can even mix assets and still get the protection of an inheritance protection trust. But what I'm talking about doesn't apply just to houses. It applies to bank accounts, investment accounts, all kinds of other assets can be owned by these inheritance protection trusts. The important thing is we want to control how our son, daughter, or other loved ones enjoy what we've worked so hard for. That's the beauty of an inheritance protection trust.